Hello and welcome to another installation of the Andy Warhol Diary and the old Razzle Dazzle. This is your pal Mubbo. Today we're going to be looking at Sunday, December 12th, 1976. Now before we get into it, as always, I'd like to ask you for your cooperation. I call this a PFA. It's a plea for assistance, looking for the person or persons responsible for the death of my uncle Charles Pancheri in his home in Elizabeth, New Jersey in 2011. If you have any information leading up to the arrest and conviction, there is a reward posted of $5,000. If you have any tips, please call them in to 908-654-TIPS. That's 908-654-8477. Or you can go online and submit an anonymous tip to www.uctip.org. That's www.uc, so that's unioncountytip.org. And if you have any information, I would really appreciate just speaking up and giving any information that you have, anything at all. It is currently a cold case, but the detective assured me that if some new information were to come forward, they would absolutely reopen it. So I would appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. Also, if you're interested, here's the digital version of the Andy Warhol Diary. You can go to this link here and go to this little tab right here that says full text. It'll bring up the entire diary. And today we're going to look at Sunday, December 12th, 1976. So today Andy read the book called Love Affair, which he put in quotation marks, Love Affair. That's the name of the book. But he didn't think it was much of a love affair. He didn't think much of this book at all. The book is written by Ruth Kligman, and it concerns her love affair with the painter Jackson Pollock. Now, Ruth Kligman was an American artist born in beautiful Newark, New Jersey, where yours truly still has some family ties. Ruth decided that she wanted to be an artist at an early age, and she went to New York City to study art. Ruth was an abstract painter, and you can see some of her works here. So the interesting thing about the painting used for the book cover, this painting is called Red, Black, and Silver. And it was owned by Ruth, who claimed that it was Jackson Pollock's last work before he died in a car crash. Now, this was disputed for a very long time, but Ruth was adamant that she owned Jackson Pollock's last painting. So some analysis was done on the painting, and they were able to extract a hair from a polar bear rug that was known to be owned by Pollock. And if you'd like to read the entire story, you can go right here. It's from the New York Post. You can read about all the testing that they did and the backstory of the painting. A little bit about Jackson Pollock. Pollock was an American painter and was an artist in the abstract expressionism movement. He is most well known for his drip paintings, also known as all-over painting and action painting, as Pollock used his whole body to paint and used to employ a dancing style to cover the entire canvas. Jackson was married to Lee Krasner in 1945, right here, who herself was an artist in the abstract expressionist style. Unfortunately for Lee, her career as an artist was frequently overshadowed by her more famous husband, and her marriage was marked by periods of excess alcoholism and infidelity. In August 1956, Pollock died in a car crash while speeding and driving drunk in his convertible with Ruth Kligman in the car. Jackson was having an affair with Ruth at this time. Ruth did survive the crash, although Jackson Pollock and another passenger named Edith Metzger was killed. Edith was a 25-year-old woman, and she was a friend of Ruth. Edith was going to spend the weekend with Ruth and Pollock, and she met Jackson that very morning when they picked her up from the train station. So this is her first day meeting Jackson Pollock, and she dies. This accident happened on Springs Fireplace Road in East Hampton, New York. Now, one thing that Lee Krasner noted was she was actually away. I think she was in Europe during this time. And she was very worried about Jackson. She was kind of aware that he was having an affair at this time and about his alcoholism, but she decided that they needed some time apart. And she said that she woke up one morning and the phone rang. And she said she instantly knew that Jackson was dead. She didn't even have to pick up the phone. She already knew what the call was going to be about. If you're interested in learning more about the life of Jackson Pollock, there's an excellent film called Pollock, starring Ed Harris, who incidentally did all the painting himself for this film. It's a very good movie. It's from way back in the year 2000. And on right here on the right is an infamous Andy Warhol work called Green Disaster. And this work was rumored to be based on Jackson Pollock's car accident. Now, just for a point of reference, this is where Jackson Pollock was living in this area. He lived in Springs. And just for a point of reference where this is on a map, this is Long Island. And if you know anything about the Rex Heuermann case, you have Massapequa right here, which is where Rex Heuermann was from. And of course, you have the Gilgo Beach stretch of highway, the Ocean Parkway, and that's where a lot of his victims were found. Now, if you'd like to see a recreation of Jackson Pollock's car accident, done with AI, of course, you can view this video right here. It's very good. Some of the comments noted that some of the things weren't exact, but you'll get the idea of what exactly happened. It looked like he just took a turn too sharply and the car skidded off the road and hit a tree. And if you're interested in going to the Pollock-Krasner house, it is a tourist attraction. Right now, it's temporarily closed. It might be for the winter time. I just pulled this map a couple of days ago, but you can go right here. And if you're interested, if you do go there, here's some pictures. They do have classes at the house. And just here's some quick pictures of it. So back in the diary, Andy thought the book was written very badly. Ruth Kligman stated that she wanted the book adapted into a movie with Andy producing it, and she wanted Jack Nicholson to portray Jackson Pollock. Now, after Andy read this, his opinion was it would be very difficult to make a film of this book unless you created a whole new story. Andy also states that in this book, Ruth says that she desperately had to get away from Jackson Pollock, so she ran as far as possible. Andy laughed when he learned that she ran to Sag Harbor, which is right here. So it's right in this area over here, which is only about 13 miles away. In the book, Andy says that it's about 6 miles, but after I mapped it, it's about 13 miles. So, but in the book, Ruth makes it seem like she's running to the other side of the world. That's how desperate she was to get away from Jackson Pollock. Ruth also states that she received a phone call from Jackson Pollock and was surprised that he was even able to find her. Andy commented that Ruth probably gave out her new number to hundreds of people in the hope against hope that Jackson asked about her and asked for her phone number. So I thought that was kind of funny. And that's it for this diary entry. It's very short. The only thing that Andy mentioned was the reading of this book. It's a very non-traditional diary entry. So we're going to go forward with Today in History. Today in History, Joe Namath plays his last game with the New York Jets. Now, the only thing that I remember about Joe Namath, I think he used to do some commercials, maybe deodorant commercials, but I remember how he used to walk around on the football fields wearing these big, ridiculous fur coats. And that's the only image of Joe Namath that comes to my mind. And here he is with Miss Nipples' poster herself, the beautiful Farrah Fawcett. And a fun fact, Farrah Fawcett's real-life nickname is Drippy, and that nickname was given to her by her childhood friends as a playful tease on her last name of Fawcett, so Drippy Fawcett. Now, this is the fur coat that I was talking about that Joe Namath wears wearing, not this fur right here. So this fur coat was made by Mark Kaufman. And if you happen to be in the Midtown area, you can pop by Mark Kaufman's fur store. He's right in Midtown. There's Macy's and some other, Times Square's right there. So it's within walking distance. If you're in the area, pop in and you can see where Joe Namath got his famous coats. And that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. MUBBO.